Welcome back to another explainer, everyone. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating concept drawn from the mastery of the mundane. We live in a culture that's just utterly obsessed with success. We want to be at the top of the mountain, and honestly, we want to get there by yesterday. We absolutely love the highlight reels. But the text we're diving into today, it flips that entire cultural narrative right on its head. It basically asks us to look at the daily grind in a completely different way.
So, I want you to honestly reflect on this for a second. How many times have you found yourself endlessly searching for that one hidden trick? Come on, you know the one I mean. That secret formula nobody else knows about, the one that's going to instantly catapult you right to where you want to be, totally bypassing all the heavy lifting. I mean, we've all been there, right? Constantly hunting for that ultimate shortcut. Society sells us this very specific, highly glamorous package. We're constantly bombarded with life hacks, secret formulas, shortcuts, and the promise of sudden lightning bolt inspiration. It's this fast-paced, high-energy illusion telling us that success is just one clever trick away. But as our source material points out, chasing these quick fixes is a relentless, exhausting cycle. You jump from app to app, trend to trend, just spinning your wheels. And inevitably, that leads straight to burnout.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because the author offers a stunning, completely unglamorous truth in just 4 simple words. Get good at boring. Let that sink in for a moment. It's not about the flash at all. It's consistently doing the boring, mundane things that literally everyone knows about, but most people are just too unfocused or undisciplined to actually execute day after day.
So here's our roadmap to mundane mastery. We'll be hitting 1, the quick fix myth, 2, get good at boring, 3, discipline over inspiration, 4, trusting the process, and finally, building mental fortitude. Starting things off with section 1, the quick fix myth. And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict. On one side, we have the quick fix, seeking out those shortcuts and secret formulas that basically promise everything for absolutely nothing. On the other side, we have the reality, which is consistent effort, literally just doing the things everyone knows about. The text reminds us that by constantly searching for a shortcut, we are actually overlooking the immense, undeniable value of simply putting in consistent effort over a long timeline. Let's move to and see how this builds into section 2, get good at boring. Silence. 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 So how did those few seconds of quiet just feel? Maybe a little uncomfortable? Well, according to the text, we need to get incredibly comfortable with silence and, by extension, boredom. The source argues that these seemingly empty states aren't punishments at all. Actually, they're essential tools. Embracing them fosters deep focus, sparks true creativity, and builds a much deeper self-understanding. Think of it this way. The text states that if you get comfortable with silence, you'll only speak when you actually have something important to say. And if you get comfortable with boredom, you're only going to feel the need to do something when it's truly worth doing. It literally acts as the ultimate filter for your life. Which brings us right into section 3. Discipline over inspiration. Now, what's really interesting about this line is how it frames motivation. Look, the text totally acknowledges that inspiration is a powerful motivator. I mean, we all love that feeling of being incredibly inspired and energized, right? But inspiration is completely unpredictable. You literally cannot schedule it. Discipline, on the other hand, is identified as the true cornerstone of sustained achievement. You don't need to feel inspired to be disciplined. You just have to do the mundane tasks consistently, regardless of your mood. At the end of the day, discipline is always going to outlast inspiration. Moving on to section 4, trusting the process. The source actually offers a very practical, grounded approach to achieving goals, breaking it down into these manageable steps. Step 1, embrace silence, really creating that space for deep focus. Step 2, value consistency, which means putting in that daily, unglamorous effort. And step 3, prioritize process. Walking through these actionable phases is what transforms a chaotic, anxiety-driven work life into a highly intentional, grounded one. Prioritizing the process over the outcome basically means you're focusing entirely on the quality of your actions today. You have to totally let go of fixating on the end result. And the source emphasizes that making this mental shift will actually increase your daily satisfaction and build long-term resilience. Crucially, embracing the journey rather than just staring at the destination helps cultivate patience. Success requires sustained effort over a really long period of time, and prioritizing the process naturally breeds the exact patience required for that sustained effort. And finally, we arrive at section 5, building mental fortitude. So, the crucial point is how the source defines mental fortitude. It specifically defines it as the ability to withstand boredom and distractions. It's not about being the loudest or the toughest person in the room. It is a highly valuable, highly measurable skill that contributes directly to your overall success. It's literally the mental muscle you build every single time you choose to focus on a mundane task instead of, mindlessly reaching for your phone. Success often requires sustained effort over time. This is a foundational quote from the text. And honestly, I have to point out the tasteful irony here. We've just spent our time together going through this highly engaging, carefully structured explainer with all these dynamic visuals, basically all to convince you to go out and actively embrace the most utterly boring parts of your life. But, that is exactly what the source material challenges us to do, stripping away all that glamorized notion of success to reveal what actually works. Which brings us to our final question, and definitely the most important one. What boring task are you going to master today? I want to genuinely challenge you right now. When this explainer ends, stop looking for the next hack. Stop waiting around for inspiration to magically strike. Take this grounded approach, step away from all the distractions, and actively attack the mundane. Get good at boring. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.